Moving on to our final speaker, Arun Venkataraman, who is the founder and global head of Invent Solution in India, to talk about how his university alumni works as a network in India and his experience as a Swedish university alumnus, starting up a company in India, and what are the supports he received in his journey through other university graduates. Over to you, Arun.
Thanks, Arvind. Hi, everybody. I came here to talk about the importance of alumni, but I guess for the last hour, you have heard so much from alumni that they have already, made the case for me. So what's up? Do I even have to talk? So thanks for those, all those words, Alexander and Setu, and also, Donnie. And thanks to NAI for organizing this event. So alumni networks, and also thanks to KTH alumni who are also here today. So I'll just quickly tell about my journey and how much it has been influenced by alumni and the academic institution where I studied, and that I think that itself will explain how important it is. I'm from Chennai in India, and I came to Sweden 12 years ago, and I did my master's in electrical engineering. Years before AI has been spoken about by everybody, we kind of learned it academically. Machine learning was it was all starting back then. And then I worked in ABB in Sweden for some time, and then I came back to India. I worked in automotive R&D and product development, etc. And then we all have that initial itch in the early years of our career, saying this is not what I'm supposed to do. I should be doing something more. I need to contribute more. I'm like, what do I do? And that is when I attended one alumni event in Bangalore. And that kind of changed my career path, because I had a fellow alumni who, like what we have heard here today. Alumni are just people who are ahead of you a few years on the road, which you are also traveling. So, they can tell you exactly how it's going to be, what are all the things you have to keep in mind, how the road is going to be, and how you can be careful, and how you could learn from maybe their mistakes, right? So I got all that assistance from them, and I made a switch in my career, and I went into the field of intellectual property and R&D consulting. That gave me an opportunity to work with a lot of entrepreneurs and startups from across the world, and also with academic institutions. And since my organization where I was working, he was also a KTH alumnus, we thought, why don't we start an alumni chapter in India for KTH, like where we studied. Because we were both very fond of the university, and we used to talk about all what we learned, and we used to try and implement those things at work over there. We used to have a fika over there in India. So, so we thought, why don't we start an alumni chapter over here in India? Because we knew there were hundreds of alumni who were in India at that time. So we approached KTH, we spoke to them, and we started the chapter in 2014. And we've been growing ever since then. And one of the main activities that we do is mainly to assist alumni to find the right sort of this network and help them to grow in their career. And also we also sometimes assist KDH, maybe when their professors or students, they come to India, or they are looking to expand into some aspects of their business in India, say for example. So we help organizations with respect to that as well. So those are activities that we have been doing. And I'm talking about KTH alumni because that's where I am in. I'm sure every technical university, they have their own alumni networks, and they're all very active in helping their alumni expand and grow. So that is how things have been working. And why is this alumni thing important? Like what was told by Donnie at first, KTH especially is it's one of the top research universities in the world. So if you see where KTH alumni are, they are all over the world, and they are working in top R&D organizations, whether it's MNCs or startups, they are everywhere, right? So imagine you are an engineer who started something, or you're working in a much bigger organization, and you are looking to grow your organization or your team. And on the other side, you have the graduates who have also studied in the same university with a similar sort of a background. Because what is important is every organization kind of imparts a certain work ethic in you. And it's always easier to work, with those people than someone from another sort of background. So that way it actually becomes easier for you to learn from your alumni than from some other people, because as I said, they would have gone through very similar life experiences. So in that manner, like my career also grew. And then around in 2017 or 2018, I got this idea of innovation management. I mean, now in hindsight, when I see, when I heard when I heard Dhoni talk about KTH innovation, I'm like, oh, that's exactly what I'm trying to do out of here in India. So that's how the impact of the alumni is on you. We learn from them and we try to think like them. And I'm very proud to say I'm basically running a Swedish organization out of India. I'm trying to change the way some things are being done here at a grassroots level in Indian entrepreneurship field, because I have learned so much from Sweden, and I'm like, it would work here as well, because a few things are very universal. So that is the motivation behind me starting my own venture, Inveng Solutions, in 2018. So I figured out that academic institutions in India, they need a bit more handholding with respect to technology transfer, and when it comes to commercialization and also productization of the ideas that they work with. I think Alexander would agree with me. They are very good when it comes to doing things on paper, but when you actually have to create a product, there are a lot of questions and they need quite a lot of answers and handholding, especially the Indian academic institutions. So then I thought, okay, why don't I take that up as a challenge? And another thing was the startup scenario here in India. You all know, like now it's like, waiting to boom a lot. So, but then, again, who do I ask for and what information can I ask from whom and all those things. Luckily for me, I got all the answers I needed from the alumni that I was in touch with. I mean, as I said, it's basically a Swedish organization that I have here. That's because I kept interacting with people like, Donny and other industry leaders in Sweden who are very open all the time, and I got to learn. So I thought it was time to share whatever I had learned. So that was the motivation behind what I started. And then I saw that there are quite a lot of other activities as well that are going on, like NII here is doing this really great initiative. There are certain other organizations also doing it, and it's not only for Sweden, and it's truly a global world. Like, again, Donny said, save the world, we are all one end of the day. So it really opens up your perspective, and you kind of realize that innovation has to help everybody end of the day, and you need to know how to handle it. So that is the motivation behind what I'm doing. And I'm also a researcher on the side, also a space enthusiast like Sedu. And I work with a few global organizations in a couple of research projects and all. And invariably, whichever conference I go, I do find Swedish alumni over there, maybe professors or maybe some startup guy who's sitting there and maybe wearing a KTH t-shirt or some other university t-shirt, Lund. And then you go to them and say, Shana, and they're like, hey, Swedish? I'm like, no, I just know a few words. And then you start talking and then you go for a fika. And, it's a very nice feeling to find a Swedish alumnus sitting in Adelaide in Australia or Washington, DC when you go for a conference. So, all those things just makes you figure out and kind of, reiterate the stuff that you have learned. Because 2 years is what we spend in university. I mean, if you are an international student, maybe 2 years, or maximum maybe 5 years. That's what we spend in the academia. But what we have learned there, we kind of realize them only when we reflect it later. Had someone asked me immediately after I graduated from KTH, what did you learn? I would have been like, I learned electrical engineering, I learned AI, ML. But now in hindsight, I actually learned how to learn. That's basically what I mean, it may sound very philosophical, but that's that's actually the truth. And that is something I want to take it to as many people as possible. And the alumni is one of the ways of doing it today. We are in touch with so many alumni from across the world, and as I said, KTH alumni is also very active, and they also have quite a lot of programs and activities within them, and also with KTH Innovation, about which it's already been spoken. Donny explained about it. So we are quite active over there as well. And we are also looking at ways to help, Indians in Sweden and Swedish people in India to work with each other and collaborate and innovate better. Because certain skill sets that you find in Sweden cannot be found in India, and the vice versa, right? So if we can put these two together, that is like, that's really awesome. And that's what I have seen over the last few years, and that's what led me to innovation management as well. So today I work with inventors and startups and academic institutions from across the world, and everywhere I go, I try to follow the process oriented way of doing things I learned in Sweden, along with the importance you need to have for the end goal. That is also quite important, which we have it in like India. It's quite end goal oriented. So I'm just trying to figure out the balance of that, and for that I have the alumni to thank, and that's why I'm also here to kind of give it back in whatever way I can. So what I can say is, whichever university you are from, try to reach out to your alumni, and you'll find they will always help you. And it's like they say in Harry Potter, help is always given to those who ask for it in Hogwarts. So it's the same in any university, I feel. So thanks for this opportunity, and any questions I'll be glad to take.
Yeah, thank you, Arun. You have given us a lot of helpful informations, and how your students and alumni here and in India have an advantage over listening to you. Yeah, we have one question for you from Yuval. Even though it seems like your idea of Swedish innovation management in India was very successful, did you encounter any challenges when implementing Swedish model in India?
Yes, of course, quite a lot. Because, like change is not something that comes very easily to some people who are, deep rooted in their ways. It's across the world, that is a thing. I think I don't remember who mentioned Setu Alexander, inertia, overcoming inertia is very difficult, especially when people say things are working, why should I change it? I'm like, you will become obsolete, after a while if you don't. So that is the kind of thing. So I wouldn't say it's a Swedish innovation management alone. Yes, I mean, it's been influenced quite a lot by that. But in general, innovation management is a very, very process-oriented thing. And when you try to change the process that already existing in some organization, it's never easy. So it is a challenge. And I'm now trying to kind of identify ways in which I can improvise upon that as well. So yeah, it is definitely challenging.
Did you had any personal experience where KTH alumni before you helped you in your life?
Yeah, like I said, I got a job. I basically changed my career. That was because of a KTH alumni. So I was telling him I'm looking for a change of job. I'm not looking for something in this area. I want to do something like much bigger and broader. Then he said, why don't you join me? I'm like, I don't know anything about intellectual property. He's like, you can learn that, you are in KTH, you can handle that. I'm like, okay, because he was from KTH. So as I said, it helps. It really, really helps. So yeah, so that is itself is a big thing. And apart from that, we also have quite a lot of KTH alumni right here in India right now, working with their classmates in Sweden. Like there is this e-learning program that is being started. It is to educate the immigrants from the African countries who are coming into Sweden. So there is this initiative to teach them Swedish. And and I'm kind of involved in that project, working with with all of this like LMS management and stuff like that. So there is quite a lot of activity going on. And there is also this Swedish Alumni Network India. It's an organization formed by the Swedish Institute, and over there as well, lot of collaborative projects and activities are going on. So yeah, as I said, quite a lot of what I have been doing over these last few years is due to the Swedish Alumni Network. So I really urge people to go for it.
Yeah. What advice would you give to a Sweden guy or a girl looking to go to India for a business, and what advice would you give for someone from India going to Sweden for business? Are they different than in any other case, and why?
They are different. See, that's what like Alexander said. See, I think all these answers have already been given by those people, so it would be like cheating if I just say it. That's why I'm telling, like Alexander said, like say this said, Anyway, if you're going from India to Sweden, understand that it's a very, very process-oriented place. That's the way things go. The end goal is always in the mind, but it's always a process-oriented place. So you need to have the patience and take the time in order to do that. You need to have that. And if you're going from Sweden to India, it's like, don't be overwhelmed by the sheer amount of people trying to get a piece of what you are doing, or trying to give you advice. It's okay. It just means they care. You can take it, but you can still do just what you want. They're not going to feel bad that you didn't do that. But that is actually something which I have seen, saying, I'm getting too many inputs and I don't know what to do, right? So that can be a bit overwhelming, because in India, I don't know, we kind of tend to do things in a very fast pace and quickly, because there are too many of us. There's always a higher competition, a higher, this, like, we have to prove ourselves, necessity to prove all those things. You don't have to be. You can kind of chill, relax a bit, and you can go at your own pace. Like, for example, me, it's just me in my whole organization. I haven't hired yet, because like Alexander said, it's a big decision, and I'm like, I like the flexibility and freedom of being all alone by myself, because I'm trying to do something very new that's not been done before in India, I think. So I'm like, let me figure things out. Once I have the processes in place, when I can accelerate, then I would grow. So it's about it's just about keeping things, it's just about keeping all these things in mind.
Yeah. How did you go about financing your idea initially?
I made sure I didn't have to finance what I was doing at first, so that I had the freedom. I didn't want to pay salary, hence I'm doing it myself, So yeah, I mean, I took the first, like myself, see, I'm not creating a product, right? So I'm only giving a service. So I didn't need initial investment or anything like that. So I didn't have to go for the whole, starting up and going for a VC funding. I don't have to do that. At some stage, maybe, yeah, I know now that I have started this LMS, that is a product and all, I will have to grow. But again, as I said, I'm just keeping it very, very light at the moment. It's just me. And I am looking to grow in the future. And yeah, as the bridge comes, we'll cross it.
Good luck for your own. Yeah, one more question, that apart from alumni, how do you develop and manage networks?
Okay. How much time have we got? It's again, it is also a very slow process. You just have to keep in mind, developing this like network. It's not a result oriented thing. It is good to be a part of an ecosystem. You are basically developing an ecosystem, and it's about really caring for the people that you are in with. It's like people in your family. You don't like, okay, if I do this to you, you have to do it to me. That's not how it works. If you can help in some way, do help, and be a part of that particular organization, or that big kind of network, wherever you are, whether it's your just like LinkedIn virtual network or something else, wherever it is important to keep engaged all the time. And engagement is not only what you take, what you need, you should also give. It's always a two-way street. So I mean, I'm not saying you really have to stretch and you need to really prove yourself. That's not what I'm saying. In whatever way you can assist and help, you have to do it. So that is the only way to keep keep yourself engaged within within this like network, and that is the only way you will be active as well. So yeah.
Well, thank you, Arun, for joining us today. So now we have almost come to the end of our event, and I would like to thank all the speakers for their valuable insights, and thank you to all the audience who have kept this event alive and engaging. So now let me hand over the final words to Dinesh, our business team manager, who will talk about the business survey and future events. Over to you, Dinesh.
Thank you, Arvind. And it was really great to have our speakers here with us today and share their thoughts with us. Thank you very much, everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm Dinesh, and I'm the business manager at NII, the Stockholm team. I would like to take this opportunity to share a few words on the business tech survey that we have initiated as part of our mobilization and call to action strategy. We have created two business surveys, one that is targeted to the Nordic companies that have an interest in conducting business on the Indian tech markets, and one for the Indian tech companies that have interest in conducting business on the Nordic tech markets. The companies that we are targeting are potential innovation startups and entrepreneurs like you that are seeking to scale the solutions in a developed or a developing growth markets. The goal of these surveys is to understand how companies perceive their opportunities and challenges on the target tech markets in order for us to create the most amount of value for the companies. So this survey would hardly take about 5 minutes of your time. So please make sure and spare your time for us, which would greatly help us to improve as an organization in the forthcoming future. We would really appreciate it if you can take the survey right away. We have posted both the links on the survey on the Zoom link. Don't worry, even if you have missed it, you can always go to our website to know more about our survey and take them. I would like also to highlight that during these tough situations during the pandemic, we are reminding everyone to wear their masks in public and maintain social distance at all times. Please do not come outside unless necessary. And finally, a gentle reminder to take the vaccines that are rolling out rapidly. Finally, do follow us, our posts on website, and follow us on social media like Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn for more exciting updates and upcoming events. Thank you very much, everyone. You have been an amazing audience. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you to all the speakers. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
See you guys. Thanks again.
Thank you, guys. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Setu. Thank you. Yeah.